Hi, my name is Izzy and I'm Director of International Communications at the Hoffman Agency. That is a very complicated PR way of saying that my job is to help bridge divides between East and West to East. So today I'm going to be answering questions on international relations and intercultural stuff. Yay! All right. What are some of the biggest challenges companies face when entering a new international market? We get a lot of this at the Hoffman Agency, and I would say one of the biggest things that I've seen is having a company that is very, very well known and well reputed in its home market, thinking, yay, okay, we've got the business model down pat, and they try and do a copy-paste approach when they go into an international market, only to realize that for some reason this doesn't seem to be working. Why do they not love me? Why are they not buying, etc.? And what we realize is that actually it's not just about whether you have an amazing product to sell or service or solution, however your organization may phrase it, but it's whether the messaging is resonating with local audiences and speaking to their values, their principles and their customs. What role does cultural intelligence play in international business success? Oh my God, what role does it not play? Culture shapes absolutely everything that we do. It is the basis of every single decision that we make and every single interaction that we have on a day-to-day basis. Can you share a case study where an international expansion was either done well or went wrong? Yeah, tons. But let's pick one of my favorite good international case studies. So a company that I think has done expansion really well is Netflix. One of my guilty pleasures actually is I follow Netflix on Instagram in Singapore, and the way that they are able to manipulate what is ultimately marketing for the latest drama, the latest series, and do it in a way that is so uniquely Singaporean, I think is absolute genius. How do you handle situations where cultural misunderstandings arise in business dealing? This is a great one, and we see this happening a lot, but ultimately it boils down to oversharing, over-communication. So we are in an international setting. If we are met with this kind of scenario, then how do we react? Do we adhere to one culture, another culture, or do we try and find some sort of middle ground or compromise? Once that's been made clear, then normally those misunderstandings start to fall to the wayside. What are some of the common challenges you encounter when facilitating cultural exchanges between East and West? So things that I've seen people feel really challenged about when they come into the East, for example, are things like how hierarchical and how decision-making has to follow a certain chain of command versus in the West where maybe it's more egalitarian, maybe people of a variety of different ranks are able to make some of those decisions together. What are the key components of an effective multi-market message or campaign? This is a real challenge because you have to strike the careful balance between being true and loyal to what the brand represents versus being able to create a message that's going to resonate with the audience of the market that you're trying to target. So yeah, careful balance to be struck between the two. Faye, what advice would you give to companies looking to enhance their understanding of intercultural dynamics and improve their global strategy? That's a big one. I would give them 3 pieces of advice. Number 1 is that for international expansion to work, and I mean really, really work, I truly believe that you need dedicated resources, that it's not a function that you add to someone's job description and hope that things are going to move, but that it really needs to be someone's sole dedication and remit. Number 2, I would hire people with international profiles, because already those people immediately come with an understanding of there is more than one way to do things, and they are more adept typically at bridging those gaps. I think it's really important, number 3, to prioritize which markets are important to you. It's not a good idea to go with a scattergun approach and spray and pray, hope that something is going to land. You want to focus on 1, 2, maybe 3 markets at a time and really, really nail them. The last question: how do cultural differences impact consumer or customer behaviors in various regions? So I mentioned previously that culture colors absolutely everything that we do. And the tricky thing is that half the time we're not aware of it because we take it for granted. It's what we were raised to think and do. These are the biases, these are the stereotypes that we have because this is the environment that we know and we love. The other one that I've seen, and I think this can really throw people sometimes, is where is the decision-making taking place? Because when we speak to Western clients, typically the decision is made in the boardroom during the meeting. If you're in the pitch, for example, then you are genuinely having an open conversation. Whereas when you speak to Asian cultures, actually a lot of the decision making doesn't happen in the boardroom at all. It doesn't happen in the meeting. And that concludes our international communications debrief of the day. I hope you enjoyed this and stay with the Hoffman YouTube page for more content like this.